So I am recording a video a little bit early. I mean, it's Thursday night, and I don't know my schedule exactly if on Friday to allow for enough time for the video. I've been recently doing the videos on Thursday nights for Friday, and it's what works. I may or may not discontinue videos on Fridays since I keep having to do 2 on Thursdays. It's what's working for me, but we'll see. I may not do more videos on Thursdays. But anyway, there's a verse in Aishes Chayil, which is said to have been written by Avraham for Sarah. And there's a line in there that I truly connect with. It's Oz v'hadar levusha, v'tischak liyom acharon. Abraham and Sarah from the Bible, by the way. So Oz means strength and strength, or power, right? V'hadar means glory, dignity, splendor, beauty, whatever, one of those words. Levusha is the clothing or the garments. And then v'tischak, she smiles or she laughs. Liyom, to the day, at the day, for the day, and then acharon, after, or the future, or the last day, or tomorrow. It's like, I really love that, and it's very profound, and each one can take from it what they need. Sholom Shochat says that Moshe at Har Sinai, Moses at the Mount Sinai, ascended 8 times. And I think it's interesting that even though I'm recording this on 8/8, the English calendar, not the Jewish calendar. The Jewish calendar, it's the 4th of Av. Av is Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz. Av is either the 5th month or Tishrei, Cheshvan, Kislev, Teves, Shvat, Adar, Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, Av, or the 11th month. So it's not the 8th. It's either the 5th or the 11th. So basically, he ascended. But today's 8/8/8 because it's been August 8th, the 8th month, the 8th day of the 8th year of the 8th, and then 2024 is 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. All right, so on the 2nd of Sivan, 2448. Now you're asking, I just said we're 2024. How could I say that he did this in 2448 when we know it was thousands of years ago? And the answer is because the Jewish calendar, we're now in the year 5784, and there are some who debate and say we're actually 160 years later, I think, something like that. I'm not saying we aren't. I'm just saying that the calendar is from the beginning of Adam and Eve, Adam and Chava. This is not from an arbitrary number from a man. First is the 2nd of Sivan 2448. Second is 3rd of Sivan 2448. The 3rd is the 4th of Sivan 2448. The 4th is the 6th of Sivan 2448. Rabbi Yossi's view is actually the 7th of Sivan. Then number 5 is number 5 is 6th of Sivan again, or Rabbi Yossi says it was really the 7th of Sivan. 6 is 7th of Sivan 2448. Rabbi Yossi says it's 8th of Sivan. Then on the 7th time was the 18th of Tammuz 2448, and the 8th was the 1st of Elul 2448. There's a 40-day period on Har Sinai. There was one 40-day period. Remember, when he went up there, he didn't eat and he didn't drink. 7th of Sivan, and it's may even be he didn't sleep. The first was the 7th of Sivan 2448 until the 17th of Tammuz 2448, receiving the first luchos, the tablets. Number 2 was the 18th of Tammuz 2448 until the 29th of Av 2448. So we're in that period now. This was to seek atonement for the people because of the Chet Egel, the sin of the golden calf. 3, the 1st of Elul 2448 until the 10th of Tishrei 2449, receiving the second luchos. This was actually the 10th of Tishrei is when we have Yom Kippur, when it's the Day of Atonement. In the Zohar, chapter 27, verse 268 of Terumah, the portion of Terumah, the parsha, it says, a pit, a seed, a shell. The brain is like the nut. The skull is like the shell. And there's a soft and hard shell, 2 different klipos, or seed, pit. And think about it, we have the meninges, they're like soft peel, and then we have the skull, the bone, which is a hard peel. And the hard peel becomes hard. When we're born, it's a soft peel. And the world is like the inner strong shell outside the outer soft shell, thinking about that. And then I want to say this is kind of like a preparation for the Sabbath, but really, when we think about head and heart connection, well, there's a book called The Divine Conversation. This is from the teachings of Rabbi Nachman. It's about righteous purity. When we constantly talk to God, we seek the glory and majesty to sanctify God through them as tools of divine service. With endurance, because permanence means truth, we look for that endurance and the enslavement of evil and time. Time has changed, things die, right? We be kind always, strong and forceful with any obstacles or with any obstacles and distractions. Just knowing God exists is the greatest blessing. When meaning is beyond grasp, the test has begun, and meriting to strengthen faith and regenerate naive trust will make apparent the weakness of the previous outlook. Why we need to go through that. Even laws that don't impose limits, that are seemingly for obvious reasons, brim with deep relevance and divine light that shine to the core. And when we blindly follow commandments, even if it seems foolish to others, there's the laws of Torah, which were given in the realm of eternity, so they'll always have significance. There's some spiritual demands which seem illogical or impossible to understand. It's for our innocence. Eventually, they're going to shed their dark and impenetrable nature. There will always be a realm or level next to next, beyond reach, no matter where we are in the ladder, through prayer and yearning, that we can ascend through the four universes. Saying first, this world, Asiya, which technically there's said to be two levels. One is the pure Asiya, and then the Asiya we're in, the world of manifestation, which is actually waste and death. And going, up, we have Yetzirah, which is formation. We have Bria, which is creation. And we have Atzilus, which is emanation. These are the worlds that are not in yet the oneness. These are the derivative worlds, contractions of God in order for existence to occur. So the furthest depths and reaches of entire creation can be shown from these grades. It's easier to subdue evil in a test of his loyalty. Victory can take years and years depending on merits and deeds, taking into account past deeds or past worth, etc. And eventually to the source of the holy crown, God's will and desire, which is also called the Ancient of Days, which can be a tremendous and overwhelming, it's countless universes of God's infinite presence. The world of action, world of forms, world of creation, and world of pure emanation. The 10 attributes that are in each of the worlds, which are called Sfirot. I've gone through this many times in previous videos, but pretty quickly I'll say. Specifically, you have Chachma, you have Keter, the crown, you have Chachma and Bina, which is wisdom and understanding. This is the right brain, the left brain. Then we have Das, which is a secret dimension, but really is the birth of those two, which is the knowledge. Then we have knowledge is like in the now, right? And then wisdom is like the insights, and the practical, the practicum, or the practical, or the practice, and the applications is the bina, the understanding. Then we have the right arm, which is related to giving or chesed, sharing. We have the left arm, which is related to power or taking, which is gevura, judgment, really, kindness and judgment. Then we have the tiferet, the torso, which is the balance. It's rachamim, it's mercy, it's harmony, equanimity. Then we have the right leg and the left leg after Yesod. Yesod is the foundation or the secret or the abundance, creativity. It's related to the pelvis, reproduction. And the right leg and the left leg, which are kind of related to prophecy, or at least, eternity and splendor or acknowledgement of the holy. And majesty is, divinity, the sovereignty is the malchus, which is the feet, but also the mouth, the speech, the fact that we could have creative, destructive dignity as a birthright, just being able to talk. So these 10 attributes, and really I said 11 because there's that secret portal one I mentioned called Das. The entire purpose and goal of one's life is to, and we went from Keter to Malchus. Actually, Malchus becomes the Keter of the new world. The Malchus, the feet, the one that receives from all the above, becomes the giver of the new world. The Keter, the crown, the one that is the transcendent quality, the attribute that leaks into, like the light that leaks into everything. So entire purpose and goal of one's life is to bring awareness from God to even the farthest reaches of consciousness, past time and space, all divine traits, gathering encouragement and strength from uniting with God's help, with the crown. Through declaring faith in Him, we enter the kingdom, journeying through the domain of the angels, the pure spiritual creations who are always fulfilling His will, and confirming that they're the work of the one Creator and also real, attaching to the intangible world until perception of the throne's foundation, and then acquiring wisdom. There's our virgin concepts, feelings are uninhabited by all structure and form, yet filling and exploding with incredible life, the essence of all. And there's a sensitivity to God's hovering, the intimate, irresistible presence. And so I wanted to explore a little this head and heart connection, and also this idea of like atonement that I mentioned about Moses seeking atonement. So I'm thinking about, where have I felt anger, blame, shame, guilt, resentment, triggered, like, self-worth, lack of confidence, self-doubt, or jealousy. So you can do this for yourself. I'll share mine. Wanting to be the savior, the rescuer, the helper. Wanting to be needed and valued for my efforts and showing for my effortlessly showing up even without trying to offer. Wanting to be automatically protected without having to prove my preciousness or guardedness. Wanting to be touched, held, reassured, comforted, and contained, nurtured by someone who feels they want to give to me and naturally is pleased with me and enjoys me. And wanting to have no battle with money so that I can feel safety net, welcoming, belonging, and freedom and independence. And head and heart connection. When we release pent-up feelings, we can have clarity of mind. The voices in our head are thoughts we can hear. Sometimes there's a transformative power in adding the word yet. Like, I can't do that yet. Sometimes people who love, like us, try to control us, thinking we'll be liked and loved by others because of them. Think of a parent who smothers, right? Or controlling. Dominating what they feel is unlikable and unlovable in us. When we are in lack, we may send out this template on others, and also it may be hard to get past judgments from others who see the lack. And remember, we get 50% of our self-worth from our environment. Self-worth here could be the image that we come up with of ourselves, our self-concept. On the other hand, we want to earn and produce. And on the one hand, we want to earn, produce, make it happen, and grow. On the other hand, we want it all to just fall in our lap. So everyone wants to fit in, even in the differences. We want to be in the oneness and the uniqueness. And that's the paradox. That's the true sense of the Kabbalistic term of it's here, but it's not here. It's touching, but it's not touching. We can go back to the houses of our memory without getting stuck there by just taking what we need from them. I often like to think of it as the basement or the attic that we left things in. When we feel insecure about a compliment, we may judge that the one offering the positive feedback is unreliable. I find this with people who are very insecure, and then they hear, they're smart or beautiful, and they don't even believe the person who said it, even though all along all they wanted was to be impressively beautiful or smart. When we're curious, it's the first step to healing the wound that we decided was the other's intentions or mixed motivations. Because autonomy, in that curiosity, we admit we don't know everything. So I'm working on all this, and I'm about to give a blessing for the Sabbath, for Shabbos, that we should, it's always a new portal, right? So before I say that, I want to say two more things. Autonomy has to be balanced with safety, trusting the one in charge, but also learning to trust ourselves. And also this idea of compliments. When we withhold compliments, it can be a way to protect ourselves from people who may betray us, because we all want equality and privacy. What does that really mean? It means that we, the people who betrayed us, we may not want to tell them good things about them, because then they either may not do it anymore, or they might think we're not reliable, right? And we want everyone to be like equal. We all want privacy. We don't want to be like too seen, and so we don't want to like give that reality into our relationship. But that's a dynamic that can be made conscious, and we can recognize we can be complimentary for people. We can bring out the best in everyone and affirm their goodness, even as they make mistakes or they're the butt of a joke or other people are mocking them. And my blessing for us is to strengthen our head and heart connection for righteous purity. And really, that we should heal we should heal so that we don't need to get triggered, so we could flow through life. I heard yesterday, like an earthworm, everything coming in to be digested and loosened up to receive life. That we are, just by existing, we could be like an earthworm, this silent digesting of life as it comes through us and loosens up. And to recognize that, like, we have a shell of our head, but there's a bigger shell of the world, and that there is a period of atonement. There's a period of rectifying, really of that not just clarity, that someone said at one mint, to become one again. In the differences, and may we all release hypocrisy, jumping to conclusions, and finding curiosity, finding openness, and really the trust and the serenity and being guided, and and healing our self-image, our self-concept, and having a healthy self-esteem, and replacing that unhealthy inner critic with a empowering and nurturing voice inside of us, as we can release any trauma-based entitlement. And wishing everybody a good Shabbos. This Shabbos is Parshas Devarim. It's the first of the last book of the 5 books from Moses. And all the best. Bye.